episode of Restoration Conversations. We're here at Il Palmerino, which is a 15th century watchtower turned country estate turned cultural association, and I'm delighted to be in the company of Federica Paretti, who will be our guest and host today.
Thank you, Linda. I'm also very pleased to be here with you in this interview.
Thank you so much, Federica. We're delighted. We're actually here in the hills of Tuscany, the last House of Florence, and it's a really special house. We're in the venue's exhibition space, and around you'll see different paintings by Flavia Arlotta, who's a 20th century artist. But I don't actually want to start with Flavia. I'd like to start with the two women who really have created the identity of the place, particularly in the 20th century. Palmerino has a multi-century history, we know.
Yes.
But why don't we start, Federica, with Vernon Lee?
Absolutely, yes. That, yes, these two figures, they are still alive here, so there is trace everywhere about them. So Vernon Lee arrived in Palmerino in 1889. She came here with her family, and she's a British author, and the family was nomadic because they travel since she born.
They were nomadic.
Yes, nomadic, yes, and she born in France, but they always travel. And they arrived here especially because at that time in Florence there was some case of cholera. And so, because the brother was not, was ill at that time, so they want to find a place where they can stay safe and with breathing nice area.
Yeah, nice, fresh air, right? Healthy air,
exactly.
let's say, right? But to protect themselves from these outbreaks.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And they choose Palmerino, and in a letter to a friend of hers, she say, "I love my sgangherata casa."
Which is her dilapidated house?
A little bit,
house?
yes, my old house.
Your old house.
And then it was nice because she asked friends to help her to rebuild the garden and plant bulbs that come from England.
Did she create an English garden here?
She created an English garden, absolutely, and the fact that there is all these flowers that are coming from England is for sure gracias to her and the friends. So we have the bluebells in the spring,
absolutely,
and the rose that we saw in the garden. That is the rose of English rose.
Absolutely,
we call her Vernon Lee rose.
Yes, well, we're going to have an autumn view of Il Palmerino in the episode today. I think I just want to talk a little bit about Vernon Lee as an author. She produced actually 42 books, many essays, and she took on this pseudonym, right? The male pseudonym.
She changed her name at the beginning of her career that started very young, because her first book, she was 23, about 23, and she had this idea to change her name in a male name, so from Violet Paget, that is her real name, she changed in her nom de plume Vernon Lee, that is more neutral name.
Right.
And this was smart because immediately people criticize her like a Professor Vernon Lee. And
the name was suggestive for people, it was evocative for people, that she was a serious figure.
Esatto, and so she wrote about history, critics, and she started this first book was about history of the 18th century in Italy.
Right. Just to give her a timeline, she's called a Victorian author. She was, in fact, a generation before the Bloomsbury crowd. And I wanted to talk a little bit about her salotto, or her salon, her literary salon. really the creme de la creme of international personalities living in Florence at the time would come to network in Vernon Lee's salon, and I'm thinking of Henry James, of Edith Wharton, of Oscar Wilde, a little bit later Virginia Woolf. And so tell us a little bit about Vernon Lee's salon, what she was trying to do, what it would have looked like.
Yes, you mentioned the more, I think, famous, but there is so many people that at that time were very relevant in Europe. And the aspect that is interesting is the fact that at that time Florence was really the center of the world. Everybody was here.
Right.
And Vernon Lee was, because she knew 5 languages, because as I told you before, the nomadic family, and so she can speak Italian fluently, German, English of course, then French and
Polish.
Polish.
Wow.
So imagine at that time what this means. She was really a center of communication, let's say, to the community, the foreign community in Florence.
Right.
And she was able to connect people. And
I was thinking of Edith Wharton, and Edith Wharton wanted to write her very famous book on gardens, Tuscan gardens, and
that is dedicated to her.
Right. And Vernon Lee made the connection.
Made the connection, opened the door of many gardens and villas in Italy, because she was really in this important circle.
I wanted to ask you about Palmerino's garden. And the reason I'm so interested in the garden as a space is because we remember in this time Virginia Woolf is writing about a space of a room of one's own, right? And I feel like Palmerino has had that function for many women over the past several decades, a garden of one's own. And I wanted to ask how you feel. Earlier you said there are 2 women who really are everywhere here. Their spirit is everywhere here. So can you tell us a little bit about that and from the Vernon Lee standpoint?
Yes, well, 2 women and others.
Yes.
But starting with Vernon Lee, I have this feeling of her, well, you know that she wrote this book called Genius Loci, that is really a metaphor, because she wrote about this, so the spirit of the place, so how important is a place and who passed through the place and what the place absorb about this.
Right.
And so that they are not neutral place, no? They tell us a lot about who was there, who take care of it. So, and then her garden is exactly this, because we found this little bench in stone all over in the corner, more isolate of the property, and they are still there.
Yeah.
And I am very, I love when I see somebody that sit in this bench, and I think, well, imagine this 2,000 years ago, no?
Right, right.
So it's incredible how things replicate in a way, and then my grandmother, Lola Costa, she arrived here, and in her diary, you remember, maybe you read it, that she got in the property the first day that the agency bring her to see the property to sell, not to purchase. And she say, I even didn't see the house inside. I just look at the garden and see this flower that remind me my country, because she also was English, and that was my house.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Lola Costa, right, who is your grandmother?
Yes.
came to Palmerino in 1935?
Esatto.
Okay, with her growing family, with her husband, also a painter, Federico
Yes,
Angeli.
Federico Angeli, a known painter.
He had a level of fame,
successful
Absolutely.
painter.
And he trained Lola for a period. No?
Yes.
He was her.
Yes, but first Lola came to Florence to teach him English.
Yes.
Because he need to learn the language for the client overseas.
Yeah, he had international clients.
International.
He was selling paintings.
Esatto, painting, working in Florida, so all this.
Yes.
And so she came for him in reality, but just to be a teacher, and then she became the wife.
And did he learn English?
Never.
He never learned English.
Never. It was much easier.
But their dialogue ended up being a painting dialogue.
Absolutely.
Right? They started to, one of the first things they did was create a studio here.
They create a studio here upstairs.
Upstairs, okay.
And they paint together. They used to paint the same subject.
Yeah.
And then you see a lot this with the children, their children. So they model for them.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you see one that is taken from the front and the other take from the side. So there is this...
they had portraits in dialogue. No?
Absolutely, yes. And also some natura morta, some still life.
Still life paintings. Yeah, still lifes were very, very common among women artists since the 1600s onwards.
Absolutely, Garzoni.
From Garzoni to Arlotta, right?
Absolutely.
But I think it's interesting. I just wanted to talk for a moment about Lola's style. Because in their art dialogue between Federico and Lola, he was very, let's say, traditional, very realist.
Academic.
A lot of Renaissance influence.
Absolutely.
And she was much more influenced by
Impressionists.
The Impressionists, French currents.
Yes.
Even more open, I would say, to European movements than her husband.
Yes, well, allora, there is two factors that Lola has training that start in France and also an education, international education, and she said that she is an autodidatta.
She's self-taught.
Sí.
Yeah.
But she sees so much art in France, in Paris, Impressionist at that time. Mm-hmm. She was in Paris in the 20s.
And this is a new discovery for you.
And this is a new discovery, yes. And also we know that she learned in Paris with some teacher. We are still trying to understand where exactly. But so she had this first period that she painted even not with brush, but with a knife.
Okay,
and then she met Federico, and she go back in the technique, in the more the figurative and in the academic lesson from him.
Right, she went back to the beginning, to the more Italian beginning, let's say. But I think this is curious, this element of Lola working with a knife, because if you look at her works, even her later works, works produced in the 60s and 70s, etc., you do see that she's doing a lot of
graffiti even.
Graffiti, yeah, yes. Exactly. She's scraping the works, and it creates a real dimensionality to the piece, and in that way I think she was also responding to this idea of plasticity of her paint, which is quite interesting.
Absolutely.
There's a real plasticity to her works, right? You feel like you're getting the multidimensionality when she's going in and grading with the knife. But that was really, it was part of her initial period, and then it was part of her later period.
Yes,
right?
she came back to that technique after a long pause, because when Federico died, I think she stopped to paint for a moment because it was too difficult for
several
her.
decades, no?
Several decades,
Yeah.
yes. And then you remember she was ill.
She was ill,
and
exactly.
And the daughter Beatrice said, you should start again to paint, and this was in the 70s. So she was 70 years old because she born in 1903, yes.
Yeah.
And so she started again, and she went back to this initial use of the knife or but with completely a different strongness.
Okay, so she had in some way
Yes.
found her painting voice, let's say.
Absolutely, yes. And she was free. At
Right.
that point, she was free. She had absorbed a lot of different style. She tried many things. She always do watercolor all her life. So for this, we have so many watercolors.
Yeah. Well, I want to interrupt you because I
Yes.
want to take us into the archive. I know
Esatto.
that the British Institute of Florence has Vernon Lee's part of Vernon Lee's library,
Yes.
a substantial part of
Yes.
Vernon Lee's library, and part of her archive. And with the project that we're doing together with the Calliope Arts Foundation, Lola's archive will soon become part of that collection in the British Institute of Florence. But you and several young scholars are working to really develop
Yes.
Lola's archive. And so what do we see in the archive? What do we learn about Lola?
We learn a lot. Like you say.
Are you surprised?
No, like we say before, no?
Yeah.
You say see that Lola started in Paris and in the 20s, and for as family, we never knew because this was before our born and the born of our parents.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's important, the archive, because it gives us a lot of answer, and also the fact that we have these interns that is life for the Palmerino, because it's new energy, but it's also a beautiful way to transmit, we can say.
Yeah, absolutely.
To transmit the history, the legacy, not only this, I think also the love that we have for art and for the beauty. So to be able to have some young girls, but also boys, because to be with us on that is extremely nice. I feel really resourced from this.
You feel enriched. Enriched from it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're I think also because the space too is so rich, right? That they can in some way connect to it. You think of Lola coming. She was a city girl from England. She came to Palmerino. She begins painting in front of the farm workers, etc., and starts painting the farm workers. Yeah. Because Palmerino is and continues to be a working farm. It has its wine. It has its olive oil. I mean, it was, and she was very interested in protecting the estate, right, and maintaining the estate through the war years and difficult times. But I think young people who are still seeing these seasons, right, seasons in nature, but also seasons in art with the shows that you put on periodically, the concerts and the events, and the new artists that are working here. It's a really dynamic environment, and that's something that we really want to share with our viewers, is that Palmerino, although it's a place of legacy, it's also a continuance of creativity.
Esatto, yes. This is what we would like to do. So to understand what happened here in the past and have the possibility to renovate this tradition in the now, in the moment, in the present. So this is why we open Palmerino to artists.
Yes.
And there is more and more so that are coming, and especially in this moment we are so pleased because gracias to Calliope Art we are doing this incredible project that put in collaboration also in Museo Sant'Orsola for a grant for some artists, two young artists that are here in residence now, and they're working.
A French artist and an Italian artist.
Yes.
We're going to see them and hear from them.
Cyrille Gulaschi from Paris and Silvia Infranco from Bologna in Italian. Yes.
Yes. And they're working, the project they're working with is called the Garden Project, and they are responding to the garden as Lola did so often, and as Vernon Lee did so often in her writing as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a moment, we're going to hear from them directly, they're going to tell us about the work that they're doing.
The process, yes.
And then we'll come back and we'll talk some more.
Okay, perfect.
My work in general is about the invisible, and more especially invisible aspect of realities that our senses are unable to see. So it can be light at nanoscopic scale, or magnetic fields, or microbes. And here in Palmerino I wanted to focus on light, but more precisely on light that is produced by the living. Because life, humans, insects, animals and plants produce light in infrared spectrum, and we are able to see it with infrared cameras. And here in Palmerino I wanted to look at bees, because bees, we are very close from them, they are very hot like us. And what is interesting to me is when you look at them with this camera, it really looks like little stars. I've been really interested in astronomy in general, and this city, Florence, has a lot of history about astronomy. And by visiting the city, I've been noticing the domes in the churches, and also all these tools, the celestial globes that are used to study astronomy since Renaissance. And these two have been linked with the project in Palmerino, and I had this idea to recreate constellations with bees I'm taking on pictures here in Palmerino. So the pictures I'm taking with my infrared camera, I print them with cyanotype, which is a very old technique invented by a physicist and then reused by a botanist called Hannah Atkins. And the cyanotype technique has the particularity to have the same blue that are used in the dome, in the painted domes in the churches. So the idea is to print these pictures on fabrics and reproduce new constellations that are not made from stars, but this time made with bees. So basically, when you're going to be looking up, you will be staring at the ground, because it will be bees forming the starry nights and new constellation. So for each month, each time zone, there will be a specific plant, melliferous plants that bees pollinize. And in September, for example, it will be rosemary and ivy. And I will paint these flowers on top of the pictures with the bees, so to recreate this celestial dome that is typical from, for example, the Basilica in San Lorenzo, that is named after the sky like a canvas. It was what he said about these artworks. So the idea is to put the same in the Museo Sant'Orsola, which is an old church, and to use the bees that are actually the pillar of our ecosystems in the top of the dome and in the center of our attentions, in a way to sanctify it and to give it a sacred aspect.
more about what we actually find in Lola's archive.
Well, the archive is very rich. There is photography, and we have documents as correspondence, poetry, because also she wrote poetry, so her manuscript, and then we have a lot of watercolor.
A lot of watercolors.
Yes.
And drawings as well?
And drawings,
Okay.
yes, and block drawings.
Oh, so notebooks.
Notebooks,
Yeah.
yes.
And you have some maps, no? By Vernon Lee's
Yes,
maps and how she restructured the property.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. We found these maps of the house with her handwriting, because Vernon Lee restored one of the two villas, and she make her final residence, and
Absolutely.
and so there is this also.
Yeah, there's a dialogue between them there as well. I wanted to ask you, I wanted to take us to the show today, where we are, the Flavia Arlotta show. Flavia Arlotta they were neighbors in some sense, no? They lived on two different,
Absolutely.
two different sides of the hill, let's say.
Flavia Arlotta is a little younger than Lola.
Yeah.
I think another generation.
Yes, yes, a generation later.
Later, yes.
But Flavia also had a dialogue with her husband, who was also an artist, Giovanni Colacicchi.
So it's very, yes.
And we see a lot of still life works. The show right now at Il Palmerino is called Inner Gardens.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the show?
Well, it's an incredible opportunity to show this work, because I love since ever Flavia Arlotta works.
Yeah.
And when her son Francesco said that he wanted to do an exhibition here, for me was quite unbelievable. I said, really, you are right.
Yeah.
I am very happy because really her work is so soft and generous and animate, and so even every day I come here at the beginning of the day in the morning, and I look around and I feel better. So
yeah, it gives you a calm. Also, I think that with Flavia's works, you see a lot of jars and jugs and vases and daily things, so daily life. And
yeah, there is all these objects,
you know,
yes,
and
that
we even
she
have,
manufactured.
Exactly, we even have in the show.
Absolutely, they're here, so it's very rich, the exhibition, because we can recognize the objects that are in the painting,
yeah.
and they're here from real. So everybody is very fascinated by this.
Yes. The same is true of Lola. You have a lot of Lola's things in Lola's paintings. You have those things in the house.
Yes. I think the two exhibitions have many similarities, but the name of Inner Garden was, even if there is more still life inside, but they are little garden, because they are really reproduce something more intimate.
Yeah, she uses these objects as sort of a representation of her own meditations.
Esatto. Yeah. Like, yes, it can be like a Japanese garden in
Absolutely.
a way.
So Federica, because Il Palmerino is a working estate, right, and because you have the olive groves and you have the wine, as we were saying before, and you have the vegetable gardens and the flowers, etc. I mean, I know your family is still taking care of Vernon Lee's lemons.
Yes,
right? The lemons
they're
that Vernon
still
Lee
there.
planted.
Yes.
You're protecting them every.
Yes. Well, in the winter,
yeah, exactly.
Yes, they are still alive.
What is? I mean, you are in some way, you know, taking on that responsibility of keeping the estate alive physically and culturally.
Yes, I think I follow a little bit the wish of my aunt Beatrice and my mother Fiorenza. So it's a line of women in a way that just want to honor the tradition, and while we are here, we go on with this. because it's part of our identity also. So it's very important for us, and it's a lot of work, I have to say, and even more now because we have so many people coming and artists, and since we opened the Palmerino in 2008,
the Cultural Association.
The Cultural Association, and so the house was open for. It's really incredible how we increase the frequentation.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic because we see the creativity is still here, and inspiration, and so many different ways to see the place.
Absolutely.
Through the eyes of many artists.
Yes, and I just want to say one thing on that point. This morning we walked through the property and we looked at the different points of light, let's say, throughout Palmerino, and I kept on saying, but Federica, this isn't really what it looks like, because it's normally full of people, you know. It's a republic, and I think that's where we can end the conversation. I mean, it really is a place of one's own, and that is not just, it's not just something that belongs to you, it's something that you have really shared with many of the members of our audience. You know, a lot of people who are watching have been here, etc. And those who have not yet been here will certainly come to visit, right?
Yes.
That's our hope, to sort of bring this female legacy to the fore. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us. And thank you as well to Calliope Arts, who is the supporter of the Garden Project that is created in collaboration with the British Institute of Florence, and obviously
help us
in Palmerino as well.
in going on with this dream.
Yes. Grazie. Thank you.